This is a warning to all the passport bros out there. Something that you're probably aware of, but just in case you aren't aware of it, it needs to be said.
I want to sit down to say this one. Since my husband brought me to the UK, I am no longer in love with him. Since my husband brought me to the UK, I am no longer in love with him.
Ay, ay. She's a runner, she's a track star.
I'm a runner, I'm a track star.
We're going to go over a video clip that will, basically make the case for me here. But to give a quick start, here's the Passport Bros definition from Urban Dictionary. I don't take it as the complete truth. I'm sure there's more to this, but just to give you an idea. Passport Bros. The Passport Bros are men who have chosen to seek out foreign women, typically from other countries, for relationships. They believe that Western women have been influenced by cultural and society pressures to behave in a certain way, and that by seeking out foreign women, they can find a more authentic, fulfilling, and harmonious relationship. This is seen as a way to restore the natural balance between masculine and feminine energy, and to avoid the wickedness of Western women. And it has a quote here: Mike has been traveling to different countries for the past year and has earned himself the nickname Passport Bros among his friends, due to his tendency to only date foreign women. All right, so from right there, first off, if any of you guys have heard of Passport Bros, are you one? What's your take on that? Am I missing something from this? I'm sure there's more if I were to dig in more. But from all this is all good because it's just dating women from overseas, and I completely agree with that. The Western women here have become quite masculine. These independent women that don't need no strong men.
I knew him when we were in Nigeria. He asked me to go and start a nursing school in Nigeria. So I started. I finished. Though he was not the only one that paid my school fees, he was also assisting me and my parents too. So he now traveled to the UK. So now, to cut the long story short, he came now to come and pick me. He did the necessary document from Nigeria to the UK. So I came. I did 1 year again in the university in the UK. Now I have just started working. But I don't love my husband. I don't love him. I am no longer in love with him. And I don't know what to do. I called him. He also noticed it, that I am so cold. I am not faking it. I am not faking it at all. I don't find any attraction in him anymore. I am not in love with him. Now he's thinking because he has brought me to the UK, that is the reason why I am no longer in love with him. I don't want to deceive him. I don't want to continue the relationship that I am not in love. My heart is cold towards him. I am explaining to him, he don't want to understand me. I now told him that I want to come and say it on Facebook, so that he too will be here to read the advice that they will give to him and to me. They says a broken relationship or a broken friendship, I don't know how they say it, is better than a broken marriage. Though we are married, but for now we don't have children.
Now here's the big warning, and it says it right here, is that they believe that Western women have been influenced by cultural and societal pressures to behave in a certain way. And that is absolutely correct. That is true. Something that we know about men and women is men are typically leaders, women are typically followers. In the past, Women would look to their man to lead the home, the family, whatever. And she would look to him as guidance. Now we know with Big Daddy government, with feminism, that women don't need no man, and theoretically it's kind of true to survive in their society. An average girl doesn't need a man like she used to. So what has happened is women have stopped looking up to men as the leaders, and now they look to Big Daddy government is the leader, or society and culture is the leader. And here's the thing to remember is think of women like water. All right, so this is some water in this beautiful shiny glass. So you take a you take a woman from overseas, a foreign woman. I think in the video she mentioned Nigeria.
I knew him when we were in Nigeria.
Is where she met her husband. Here's Nigeria, all right? So you meet this woman, and women take on the shape of the container. They're the water inside. So in Nigeria or other places where there's going to be more traditional roles, you're going to find women that take on the form of that culture, that society. That still holds them in this container. But what happens here is now you meet this great traditional woman overseas, but you bring her over here to the United States or another Western country. The woman inside has changed. All right? She's now in a new glass. She's in a new culture, a new society. And what's going to happen is she is going to take on those norms. Obviously, I'm making a generalization, but that's kind of how it works. So you bring a very traditional woman back here and try to marry her and think you're going to live happily ever after. Do you have a better chance than meeting a girl that grew up in the Western countries? Probably, but don't mistake. The container is what changes the opinions and thoughts of women today.
So now, to cut the long story short, he came now to come and pick me. He did the necessary document from Nigeria to the UK. So I came. I did 1 year again in the university in the UK. Now I have just started working. But I don't love my husband. I don't love him. I am no longer in love with him. And I don't know what to do.
And this is sad to see, she doesn't love her husband as she says. How did this happen? There could be a number of ways. Maybe he didn't have game or whatnot. But the main difference here is changing locations. I believe she went to the UK with her husband now, and now she just doesn't feel the spark. She doesn't feel that love anymore, and she wants to be in love with her husband. Again, the old container, Nigeria, you learn to just make it work. You make it the best you can with your partner. But now you come over to the UK or United States, and all women are, preaching, if you're not in love, leave him. You should be in love. You should have those tingles, those butterflies. You should wake up every day looking at your husband and just feeling like it's a love story. That's, again, the tainted culture that we brought over here. So that is just my quick little spiel there for the passport bros out there. Be careful. It's a great concept in itself. You're going to find more traditional women if you do go overseas to a lot of places. But if you bring them back, they're going to take on the shape of the culture and society around them. So be very, very careful. Take care.
I am explaining to him he don't want to understand me. I now told him that I want to come and say it on Facebook, so that he too will be here to read the advice that they will give to him and to me.
Those who say don't know, those who know don't say. I'm done walking with the herd, it's time I go my own way.
Don't forget, subscribe. Like, comment, share the video. Definitely subscribe.